11:30. It was a rainy Saturday evening, and Kaylee Bergens, a 15-year-old biracial girl with light brown curly hair and black eyes, was just chilling in her bed scrolling through Instagram. She had been scrolling for a few minutes until she came across an alarming post put up by CIBC News. This post was a picture of an inmate at a nearby jail who recently just escaped prison a few hours ago. In the caption of this post, it stated, "About 1 week ago on Friday, January 21st, inmate John Mate was sent to 20 years in jail for murdering his girlfriend. We received news earlier today that he somehow escaped the building and is now lurking in the neighborhood. If you see this man, immediately call 613-228-6543. This made Kaylee slightly alarmed since she had to watch her little brother Preston alone later that night, while her mom, dad, and other brother and sister went to their dentist appointments. Hours passed, and her mom, dad, sister, and brother were ready to leave for their appointments. Kaylee had a plan to go live on Instagram with her friend Bethany when her family left, since the house would be quiet enough to do so without background noises. A few minutes pass, and her family is now gone, and it's just Kaylee and her little brother Preston. 30 minutes after they left, Kaylee starts up the Instagram live with her friend, and not even a minute later, she hears the front door open and close. She thought that maybe her parents forgot something and had to come back for it, so she didn't think anything of this. She starts to hear footsteps coming up the stairs, so she yells, "Hello?" No one answered, but she knew that sometimes her parents would hear her but not answer, so she let it slide. Kaylee started to get curious, so she decided to go check who came home. First, she checks the main floor. While she was looking around, she came to notice that the front door was unlocked. Of course, this worries her. She then remembered that somebody came up the stairs but didn't say hello, so she decided to go check who was up there. She walks up the stairs slowly in fear. As soon as she gets in her parents' room to check, she sees that no one is there. As Kaylee is about to leave the room, she checks to see if anybody is in the bathroom upstairs, since she saw the door was closed. As soon as she goes to turn the door handle, she finds out it's locked. This gave her a feeling of panic, since she knows that you can't lock the door from the outside. So she banged on the door yelling, "Who is in there?" She got no reply. At this point, Kaylee sprints down the stairs to the basement to tell her little brother Preston that somebody is in the house. Preston and Kaylee ran up to the kitchen, and their first instinct was to grab a knife, so they did. They start to head upstairs to try and get whoever was in the bathroom to come out. After minutes of twisting the doorknob and trying to get it to unlock, the doorknob suddenly unlocks. So Kaylee grips the door handle tight because she was too scared to open it. After a good 30 seconds of debating whether to let the doorknob go, she feels someone turning the handle on the other side. Immediately, Kaylee lets go of the handle and tells Preston to run. Kaylee and Preston's hearts start racing as they sprint down the stairs towards the back door. They could hear the sound of somebody's footsteps behind them. They have now made it out of the house, through the backyard, but then realized that was a stupid decision, since they couldn't run away since it was dark outside and there was about 30 centimeters of snow on the ground, which made it hard for them to get out of the backyard if they had to. Kaylee and Preston are bawling their eyes out, huddled together in the backyard waiting for something to happen. They glance at the back door to see a tall man with a gun wearing an orange suit, one which an inmate would wear. Kaylee immediately thought back to that post she saw earlier. It's him. It's John Mate. Before Kaylee could say anything to Preston, the man shoots Preston dead. Kaylee screams, "No!" You could hear the pain in her voice. Moments later, Kaylee is shot dead. John Mate leaves their bodies lying there in the cold for their family to come home to. Luckily, a neighbor heard all of the screaming and called 911, so the police were able to arrive before John could leave the house. John is arrested and taken back to prison. The police go search the house to see if they can find anything that the inmate could have done. Then the police come across the bodies of Kaylee and Preston in the backyard, and an ambulance gets called and they are taken to the hospital. Doctors tried everything they could to save them, but they had already lost too much blood. Kaylee and Preston passed away at 11:30 p.m. Meanwhile, back at the house, the police were able to get the number of the parents after searching through the house. They called Kaylee and Preston's parents, and as soon as they were informed, they were screaming in pain over the phone. They rushed to the hospital and hoped that Kaylee and Preston were still alive, only to get there to find out they were not. Weeks passed, and a funeral was being planned for the lives of Kaylee and Preston. This tragedy was all over the news. Now Melissa, Carlvin, Colton, and Destiny had to adjust to 2 less people in their home. It took years and years for them to adjust. Kaylee and Preston are always and forever in their hearts.